Okay, so like I'm not gonna waste any time with this one. So we got in the van, blah 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 blah. We're talking, seeing where everybody's staying, how long you gonna be here, is this your first time here, whatever, meeting everybody, best day travel, whatever. And then the first hotel that people got dropped off at was West End Regina, which is pretty much the first hotel, which is all the way at the end. I think it's at like kilometer, maybe like 20, maybe even 20 something, possibly 23. I don't remember exactly. Maybe 19.5, I think it is actually. Kilometers are shorter than miles anyway. But yeah, so anyway, when you pulled in, like I was like, oh, my first view of the water. And I was so excited because it was just so gorgeous, and it was that amazing color. It's unbelievable. The color of the water, it's like a dream but better. And you know, they dropped them off there. I took some pictures of there. I took about 900 pictures this year, which sounds like a lot, but last year I took like 3,000. So I didn't take that many this year, but we weren't there for 13 days. We're only there for 10 days, I think it was. And I was kind of preoccupied some of that time. And I wanted to get my professional camera before I went, but I didn't have the chance. Anyway, so trying to keep moving here. Talk too much. Sorry. The Energizer human keeps talking and talking and talking. So we went to Golden Parnassus. Yay! And I was so excited. And I was like, oh my god, here we are! And I was like, home sweet home. And I like, you know, I forget who it was that helped us. I think it was a new door guy, because usually I know all the guys there, and it wasn't one of the older guys. It's, you know, it's been there for a while. And, you know, who was it that greeted us? Katya greeted us, and I was like, Katya, I was like, you remember me? She's like, yeah, I remember you. And she checked us in, and I just asked how everybody was and everything, and I was just so excited. And the lobby definitely looks different with, you know, the cuts in the desk, the front desk. And the beer garden bar is now the 60s bar, because they took down the mini golf, and since all the statues are pretty much from the 60s, they put all of those statues inside the 60s bar. Like the Marilyn Monroe statues in there, Elvis is in there, the old guy's in there, La Butler's in there, like all these people are in there. And Furman still works in the 60s bar. He's still super awesome. Love you, Furman. Mwah. And unfortunately, Ruben from the entertainment staff and Angel are no longer there, but Daniel's still there, Danny boy. And Carlos he took Ruben's place, so now he's like the manager of entertainment staff. And there's a new guy there who I think all you ladies are gonna like. His name is Kuko, and he's very, very tall. He's got a very big bulge, which you will see because he wears like a Speedo sometimes. And if you don't see his Speedo, he's wearing it under his swim trunks, so yeah. And he's gorgeous. And they're all gorgeous, but just saying. And then we went down to the pool, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I like had some time, and I was like, well, since we got here early, I have to hurry up and eat, because I'm not diabetic, but like if I don't eat, like I totally feel like crap. So I was like, let's just eat. We have our bracelets, you know, he has our bags. I bagged a separate bag just for Isla Mujeres and the Boobs Cruise alone. And I had it in my carry-on, so that even if something happened to my baggage, I was still going on that damn Boobs Cruise. And I had my special outfit that I had packed for the Boobs Cruise in there. And I'm trying to think what else. My memory is so shot. So yeah, so I went into the bathroom, I changed my outfit, and instead of going to the regular bathroom, I went downstairs to the spa, because there's so much more room in the locker room than there is upstairs in that one bathroom. And the traffic downstairs in the locker room, it's not really that much. So even if you change in the middle of like the hallway in the locker room, like no one's really gonna walk in on you. I mean, don't quote me, like people do go in there, but it's just not as frequent as the main bathroom in the lobby. They renamed the lobby bar Beer Garden, which I didn't really think it was that loud at night. But then again, most of the nights I did go downtown. But some nights I didn't leave to go downtown until like 11 something, and it didn't seem like it was that loud. And some nights I did come back, you know, I left early, and then I did come back at like a 1:30, 2 o'clock, even 3 o'clock. It didn't really seem that loud, but the tiki bar was always bumping. You could pretty much hear that from the lobby, you know, far away. And yeah, so I went, and then I was like, okay, well, let's go to Paradise Buffet. So I went in there, and I was like, where's Gamaliel? I'm so excited to see my Gama. Yeah. Gama's off that day. I was like, motherfuck. Like, I was so excited to see Gama, and he wasn't even working. So Pasquale and Samuel helped us. They're so sweet. And it was amazing food, as always. I was so excited to have my fresh fruit. And jugo de Jamaica, which is the Jamaica juice. It's not out anymore. They kind of changed some of that. But when you go and they ask what you want to drink, it's Jamaica. And it's Jamaica juice if you say in English, but it's just Jamaica. Jamaica. Jamaica in Spanish. Pretty simple. And it's delicious. And anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm done eating. Let me do this out of here. I even had time to talk to Brent for a little bit. And I was like, well, what time is it? And he was like, oh, it's 12. I forget what time it was. And I was like, shit. I was like, I have to be at the dock to go at Puerto Juarez to go to Isla Mujeres by 1:30 to be at the dock at 2. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm sitting there. Oh no, I had to be there at 1 o'clock. And I think it was like, I wanted to leave by 12, the hotel. But then I was like, yeah, I could probably leave by 12:15. I asked him what time it was, and he said it was 12:17. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. So I went up to the desk, and I think I asked Wendy, or maybe, I think there's Wendy, Sophia, and Katia. I don't know which one it was, but it was one of them. And I said, can I please have some pesos? Just even if it's like $2 worth, I don't care. I was like, I just have to go, and I'll be right back. And, you know, I got my pesos just so I had enough money for the bus. And hurry up. And when you go down the driveway, you can go down the driveway to the right, or you can go down the driveway to the left. And even when you get to the bottom, when you get to the main street, which is Miguelito Retorno, or I think it's San Miguelito Retorno, you can go to the right or you can go to the left. I used to always go to the bus stop to the left, but this year, pretty much every single time, I went to the bus stop to the right. I don't know which is a closer walk. Sometimes it seems like the one to the left is, and sometimes it seems like the one to the right is. If you walk to the left, you're going to walk past Le Meridian, and the sidewalk, because they're building the new Sandals Hotel, which I found that it is Sandals. They're building a Sandals resort. That hotel they've been building for like 6 years, they still haven't even halfway finished. I swear they hammer like one nail a day. But it is a Sandals resort. And you'll walk past that, but because they're doing construction, there's no sidewalk on that side. Like, not really anyway, and it's like kind of nasty because of the construction. And on the other side, I mean, it's like the trees are growing in, and the sidewalk's kind of broken, and at some points the sidewalk is really narrow, so it kind of sucks. In certain parts, you do have to walk on the street. So I like going the other way because you walk past the Hilton, and I just think it's better. I mean, not the Hilton, the Ritz-Carlton, because, you know, the sidewalk is really nice, and you get to walk through all these nice palm trees and the curving sidewalk and whatever. So I went to that bus stop. I got on the bus, the very first bus. I only had to wait like 2 seconds. And I asked him if he went to Puerto Juarez, and he said yeah. So what I did was, I don't actually take the bus to Puerto Juarez. I get off at the first stop after Avenida Tulum. And so he turned on, actually, I don't know if it's Avenida Tulum or Avenida Bonampak. So anyway, he turned on either Bonampak or Tulum. And then when he turned, he went past, you know, like the little markets as soon as you turn on the right. And I just asked him to stop, and then I got out, and then I asked a taxi driver to take me to Puerto Juarez. And I asked him how much, and all the locals said do not pay any more than like 25 or 35 pesos. And he told me 30 pesos. So I was like, he could have given it to me for 25. But I was like, it's okay. He said 30. So I ended up giving him the 35 pesos in case he charged me for that one. I know 5 pesos is like nothing in Mexico anyway. Or nothing anywhere really, but you know, it's more than what he had asked, so. And I didn't have much money this year, else I would have tipped him more. And I asked him if he could go, please, as fast as he could to Puerto Juarez. So I'm sitting there, you know, we're talking a little bit, whatever. He's asking where I'm from, whatever. And then I see all these signs for Puerto Juarez, and I'm like, oh, how much further? And he's like, oh, like another minute. And then I looked at his clock, and it said it was 12:59. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, is your clock right? And he's like, yeah, why? And I was like, because I have, you know, the ferry leaves every half hour. So he's like, I have to be there by 1 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he pulled in, and I was like, thank you so much. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have enough to tip you. And he's like, it's okay, just give me a kiss. So I gave him a kiss on his cheek. And I ran inside the merchandise store, the gift store. And that's where you buy your tickets at for the Ultramar ferry for Puerto Juarez. They're so much cheaper. It's $4 each way. You can only buy round trips, so obviously it's going to be $8 a person. But I bought my ticket there, and I was like, oh my God, did I just miss the ferry? She's like, it's 10 of, like, you still have 10 more minutes. And I was like, he told me his clock was right. I was like, oh my God. I'm sitting there like, can I have one ticket, round trip? I was like, oh my God, I was such a mess. And I was like, this dude, his clock was wrong. I have to start a new video. See ya.